Tsusanagi Goto had to go from Japan to Italy due to being given a mission by his grandfather. Since he was young, his grandfather always explored various parts of the world and obtained various ancient artifacts. One of the artifacts was obtained from a friend of his grandfather's in Italy. Goto was asked by his grandfather to go to Italy to return the artifact. Goto had not been given an address by his grandfather, only the name of the artifact owner. While wandering the streets, he was confronted by a girl named Blandelli Erica. Erica asked Goto to hand over the magic heirloom he had in his hands. Goto was confused because he did not understand what it was meant. Erica then went on to talk about the artifacts Goto had brought, but Goto was still confused. The artifact belonged to an acquaintance of his grandfather's friend, and Goto was asked to go to Italy to return it. Erica didn't believe it and charged Goto with the knife. Erica insisted that the magical heirloom be given right then and there. Suddenly, a roar was created from a distance. A gigantic figure appeared and wreaked havoc in the city. Goto asked what it was and Erica replied it was a heretic god. They immediately went towards the raging heretic god. The heretic god took the form of a big pig. It started ramming the various buildings around there. The debris from the building almost hit the car driven by Ariana. After that, Erica jumped from the car onto the roof of a building. She created a magic circle and then took out a magic sword. He stepped forward to face the big pig. During the fight, Erica knew that this god was a heavenly being. Unfortunately, if a celestial being appeared, it meant that a war between the gods would soon occur. Erica had been seen jumped here and there to attack the pig. On the other hand, Goto wandered around the suddenly deserted town. Goto accidentally tripped over the ruins and the ancient artifact was also released. It was then that a mysterious boy appeared there and took the artifact. He asked if it belonged to Goto. While getting up, Goto confirmed it. He also asked the boy to leave because there was a big pig going berserk. But the boy instead laughed mysteriously. The boy said that he was the winner, the greatest being who had defeated all enemies. He said it was out of curiosity to feel how to lose a fight that he revived the ancient god kings and challenged them to a fight. But the boy claimed that he hadn't lost either. Goto sensed that he was talking to his grandfather. Goto caught a glimpse of Erica, who was fighting in the air against the big pig. The boy asked if Goto had come all the way here to find the magician. Goto said no. He had came here to deliver the artifact the boy was currently holding. Hearing Goto's explanation, the boy laughed instead. She called Goto a knight and he was also a good young man. Goto became confused himself. He asked for the artifact to be returned to him. The boy said he would leave the artifact with Goto. Hearing this, Goto became even more confused, because the artifact had belonged to him in the first place. Suddenly, a white horse appeared and the artifact in Goto's hand glowed brightly. In an instant, the horse and white light just disappeared. On the other hand, Erica wasn't strong enough to clash with the big pig. She was pushed backward until she almost fell from the roof of the building. The pig went berserk and blew up the roof. Erica fell and free-falled. Fortunately, Goto ambushed and caught Erica's body. Instantly, the pig was enveloped in a tornado, and then it disappeared. Afterwards, Goto and Erica rested at the station. Goto asked about the god just now. Erica explained that the heretic god was a god who brought disaster to the world. They were gods from ancient mythology and took the physical form of earth creatures. Their existence caused disaster according to their respective characteristics. If the sun god appeared, then the land where the god had appeared would turn into hell and be very hot. If the god of the sea appeared, then flash floods and tsunamis would also accompany it. If the god of war appeared, then humans would continue to fight. Erica continued that heretical gods had existed since ancient times, and only people with magical powers could see them. To ordinary people, events related to gods would only look like a natural disaster. Erica had said that Goto carried an extremely sacred heirloom, but Goto said he knew nothing and only came here to return it. Erica asked to who he would return it, then Goto answered Lucretia Zola. It turned out that Erica knew Lucretia Zola. Lucretia was a great witch nicknamed the Witch from Sardinia. Erica was confused as to why Lucretia would want to give a magical heirloom to a boy from Japan. Goto himself was also confused. Goto told her that his grandfather used to be very handsome and was infatuated with many girls. He had thought that Lucretia was indeed his grandfather's ex-girlfriend then. Goto wondered why the train had not come. Erica said that they didn't intend to take the train. Goto was surprised because why went to the station if you didn't want to get on the train? He was also curious as to why Erica had followed him. Erica had said that as a knight of the Copper Black Cross she couldn't just leave a magic heirloom. She could have threatened Godo with a sword and asked him to hand over the heirloom. But because he was kind and diligent in saving that, Erica would not take the heirloom. Even though, as Godo recalled, Erica had held him up with a knife in an attempt to seize his heirloom. Erica got up and invited Godo to look for Lucretia by car. They also went to Lucretia's house around Sardinia. When they got there, a cat approached them. The cat surprisingly could talk. The cat asked who they were. Erica said they were there to deliver Ikaru Kusanagi's gift to Lucretia Zola. The cat was apparently controlled by Lucretia. They were taken inside and met a beautiful and sexy girl who turned out to be Lucretia. Godo was shocked because Lucretia was actually a granny. Lucretia said that she was indeed old if you counted using human age. Lucretia then took a magic heirloom which turned out to be called the Prometheus Legacy. Erica asked what Lucretia would do with the heirloom. Lucretia herself didn't know because she thought the heirloom only attracted evil. Lucretia instead wanted to return the object. Lucretia then asked Godo if he met any suspicious persons a while ago. Godo remembered that he did meet a boy with a strange accent. Lucretia had expected it, and then she gave Godo the Prometheus Legacy. Erica protested because Godo was new to magic and didn't know how to use it. Godo agreed and said that he was here because he wanted to return the heirloom to Lucretia. But Lucretia had said that it was the will of the gods and Godo had to keep it. But Erica didn't believe it. Lucretia said that everything was fate, but Erica still didn't understand. He said that the Prometheus Legacy was extremely rare and precious. Erica was annoyed and left the room. That night they had an alcohol party. Because they were so drunk, Erica couldn't control herself anymore. Finally, Godo escorted Erica to her room. As he was about to leave, the door was locked automatically. Finally, he slept in that room until morning. The next day, Erica threw a tantrum accusing Godo of all kinds of things. When they were arguing, suddenly a loud roar was felt. They went outside, and they saw a giant monster wandering around. They called out to the figure. She knew that the monster was the god Melkart, who was the king of gods that the Phoenicians worshipped long ago. Melkart was surprised that there was a human who still remembered his name. He introduced himself as the god of the rulers of all the seas. Thunder struck and it rained heavily. Erica was surprised because in Sardinia rain was very rare. Suddenly, between the clouds, a giant face appeared at a glance. Melkart recognized the figure as the shapeshifter. Melkart praised him for still being tough. Melkart was going to go somewhere. Erica realized that they would definitely have a fight against other gods. She had to go prevent a duel between gods from happening. He told Godo that Melkart was one of the strongest gods in the Mediterranean Sea. If not stopped, then the whole island would sink. Godo asked why would she did that. Erica simply said that it was her duty to save people. Ariana appeared and took them away to make up for the rain and chased Melkart. In the car, Godo remembered Lucretia's words about Prometheus, the trickster who tricked the gods. Prometheus was a hero who brought fire and civilization to mankind. Prometheus' ability was now stored in the artifact in his hand. Lucretia said that the artifact could steal God's power and made that power belong to the owner. The abilities of the gods could be used through the artifact. Lucretia then said that the artifact also had the power of a white horse, which was one of the manifestations of a god. Meanwhile, while still on the way, Erica informed them that another celestial being had come and took the form of a bird. Far ahead, Melkart was already confronted by the boy Godo met yesterday. It turned out that the boy was Varithragna. Godo knew who Varithragna was, the ancient Persian god of war who was also the god of light. Varithragna had various manifestations such as wind, bull, white horse, camel, pig, little boy, bird, sheep, goat, and also a knight with a golden sword. Those were the 10 manifestations of the invincible god of war, Varithragna the unbeatable. Godo remembered Lucretia's words saying that the white horse in Prometheus's heirloom was one of those manifestations. Lucretia said that Varithragna had given Godo a weapon, so he should enjoy the fight. Far ahead, Varithragna absorbed his various beast forms. He said that he had had all the manifestations except one. He and Melkart were about to fight, but Erica appeared and told them both to calm down. The gods listened to Erica. She begged not to continue this fight. Melkart didn't want to because the island was their stage of battle. He also asked Erica to leave immediately, because Erica insisted that several claps of thunder appeared and tried to grab Erica. She jumped here and there to avoid it. She fell, but luckily Godo ran over and saved her. Varithragna was also attracted by Godo's arrival. Godo took Erica running and approached Melkart. Godo tried to make a bid. Then he showed Prometheus' inheritance and said that he held the power of the white horse Varithragna. Then he asked Melkart to be in his team and protected them. Then Varithragna would not be able to perfect himself. Melkart was annoyed that Godo wanted to use a god. Godo said that this was his first time negotiating with a god, so he asked for help to understand. Melkart laughed and was intrigued by Godo's offer. Instead of being annoyed, he accepted Godo's offer. Varithragna was happy because he felt he had not made the wrong choice. Suddenly Varithragna issued a powerful attack, but Melkart created a very strong protective dome. Varithragna's attacks could also be parried. Inside the dome, Erica asked what Godo would do next. It turned out that Godo had no idea because he had not thought that far ahead. Varithragna said he was not mistaken, but if only that much resistance was put up, he still couldn't lose. Then he took out a super powerful golden sword. He then threw it towards the protective dome. Remarkably, the sword was slowly managed to penetrate the dome. Erica realized that the sword was able to remove the divine powers and turn her into an ordinary person. Varithragna asked Godo to comfort him a little longer. Erica ordered Godo to leave immediately, but Godo did not want to because Godo had to protect the magical relics that he could use against Varithragna. Erica said if Godo used it, then his body could be crushed and could kill him. Godo said he would also die if he didn't use the relic. Erica realized Godo's words, and then she kissed Godo's cheek. Erica said it could be a good luck charm. At that instant, Godo released a golden light and charged towards Varithragna with great force. As soon as the light died, Godo fell backwards. Meanwhile, it looked like Varithragna was still fine. Erica came up to Godo. He smiled and said that he managed to steal Varithragna's golden sword. It turned out that was what Godo had been after from the start. The reason was simple: the sword could eliminate God's power. Erica also helped Godo to reactivate his powers that she kissed Godo. After that, the whole place glowed golden and thousands of golden swords appeared and flew here and there. Instantly, Varithragna's body was stabbed by one of the golden swords. Varithragna's body burned as Godo embraced Erica and drew his golden sword. Suddenly, Godo fainted. Godo dreamed of meeting the girl who claimed to be the goddess Pandora. The goddess had said that Godo's sacrifice had paid off. Now Godo would be born as a new figure that was champion. Godo awoke from his sleep. It had been a week since he defeated Varithragna and became champion. He had also returned to Japan. When he was about to get ready for school, he was surprised to find Erica was sleeping on his bed. The girl looked so relaxed too. She even asked him to make her a cappuccino. Then, they both went downstairs. Godo's sister Shizuka asked what was going on. Godo himself did not know. He only said that he came back from Italy after getting a mission from his grandfather. He met angry gods and killed one of them. He also didn't know why Erica and her servant Ariana were here. Godo also left for school. Once in class, Erica appeared and introduced herself as a transfer student. All the boys had a crush on Erica, but Erica just wanted to stay close to Godo. Confused, Godo went outside the classroom and met a girl named Maria Yuri. After school, Godo and Yuri went home together. Suddenly, a man named Toma Amakasu appeared. He saluted Godo. Furthermore, the three of them went to a temple. Amakasu told me that he came from a government organization that took care of demons or gods. Yuri the shrine maiden also often helped him. After that, Amakasu talked about Erica. According to the news, Erica had the power to attract men by using her pretty face and sexy body. The reason why Erica had approached Godo was still mysterious as well. But there was one plausible possibility, and that was Erica wanting to invite Godo to join her organization. In the evening, when Godo came home, Erica suddenly appeared. Erica wanted to ask Godo out on a date. When Godo accepted her invitation, it turned out that Erica had brought him back to the palace instead. Around the Colosseum, while Godo was waiting for Erica, suddenly Godo was visited by a mysterious child. Godo wondered if the child was a god or a fellow champion. The little boy didn't answer clearly, but she added that if Godo wanted to challenge her to a duel, then she would cater to him. But Godo said he didn't want to engage her in a duel. The little boy looked annoyed. She felt Godo was unworthy of being a champion. She then disappeared. Suddenly, Erica appeared and she was not alone. She brought 3 gentlemen from her organization. They wanted to meet the 7th champion, Godo. Erica had said that Godo had to prove to those gentlemen how strong he was. Erica drew her sword and charged at Godo. Because Godo was unprepared, he rushed to face the girl who attacked him. Erica finally brought out the huge lion with her magic. Then she went to the side of the 3 gentlemen and watched Godo's action from above. Since Godo did not want any harm, he activated the fortress power of Varithragna's incarnation. With that strength, he could withstand the lion's lunge. After he was able to hold it, he immediately slammed the lion. But the lion was still able to fight. Godo then used the power of his 7th manifestation, which was the bird of prey. With that power, he could move really fast and avoided all enemy attacks. Erica returned to the fight and turned the huge lion into a sword. She also prepared to slash Godo. She drew his sword so a glowing tornado was created around her. It wasn't the fear that Godo felt, but he felt pleasure. He had purposely lured Erica to that place. Erica realized something was going on and she readied herself. Godo said that he couldn't control his strength yet, so Erica would be better off, and just dodged it. In that instant, Godo let out a gigantic pig darting towards Erica. In order not to be rammed by a pig, Erica used Hermes' heirloom boots to jump far. He managed to be safe while the giant pig crashed into the Colosseum until it was smashed to pieces. Erica came downstairs. She had said that Godo could only use each incarnation once a day. Before Erica could finish speaking, Godo jumped and knocked her down. Erica said that he had already graduated. The gentlemen applauded as they discussed the prophecy of the Starless Night, and they said they would hand over all the sacred relics to Godo. Erica then took out a mysterious medallion. At first Godo thought it was just an ordinary medal, even though he didn't know that the fate of the whole world was in this medal. The next day Amikasu went to Yuri and told him that something was going to be done by a god and that Godo would be involved. Therefore, Amikasu wanted Yuri to confirm something. Yuri was willing to do it. On the other hand, the mysterious child yesterday who was meeting Godo had also arrived in Japan. He stood still on the roof of the building gazing out at the city. It turned out that she was one of the heretic goddesses and her goal was to find her snake, Gorgonaean. At school, Erica still clung to Godo, until one day Yuri said that they had to talk privately. During the afternoon break, Godo met Yuri on the school roof. Yuri discussed impending disaster and implicated to Godo. She asked if Godo had brought along a sacred treasure called the Gorgonaean. Godo said no, since an heirloom from his grandfather alone was troublesome enough. Godo also wondered what Gorgonaean was like. Yuri explained that it was small like a medallion and made of stone. Then Godo took out the medallion Erica had given him yesterday and showed it to Yuri. When Yuri saw the medal, she was shocked because it was a Gorgonaean. Godo didn't know because Erica didn't tell him anything either. Yuri also said that there was a goddess who was looking for Gorgonaean and the world would be destroyed if the goddess found it. They also went to the temple. There Yuri told about the prediction of disaster. According to the prophecy, a catastrophe would come where a starless night covers the sky, and it would happen if the god rejected his true form back. The world would turn into hell if that happened. The prophecy was uttered by Princess Alice, a shrine maiden who had reached the highest level, and her predictions were never wrong. Yuri also said that the Gorgonaean was the embodiment of the power of Gorgon's snake, and that if a god had it, then the god would become ferocious and terrifying. Godo wanted the medallion to be destroyed, but Yuri said he couldn't do that. They could only seal it. Then Erica appeared and confirmed Yuri's words. Then Godo and the others tracked down where the god who was after Gorgonaean. With the power of her sixth sense, Yuri detected the existence of the god. After investigation, it turned out that the target of Gorgonaean was the goddess Athena. Once they had located Athena's location, Godo and Erica immediately headed there. When he met Godo, he realized that Athena was the child he had met yesterday. Athena knew they didn't take the Gorgonaean with them. Then, she launched an attack while Erica immediately parried the attack with her sword. Athena confined Erica, then advanced towards Godo. She administered a lethal poison so that Godo collapsed helplessly. Meanwhile, Erica blindly destroyed her cage. She turned swords into spears, then advanced to fight Athena. She fought Athena with all her might, but Athena seemed completely relaxed against Erica, because he wasn't afraid to face Erica, who wasn't a champion. Erica didn't care and kept trying to fight him off. Then she thrusted her spear at Athena and suddenly it shattered. It was then that Erica created a magic circle under Athena and various bars appeared to restrain the goddess' body. On the other hand, Yuri ran screaming carrying Gorgonaean. She had to seal the medal while Athena was still busy fighting Erica and Godo. On the way, he met a girl named Kranjkar Liliana. Yuri was surprised to see that girl was in Japan. Liliana asked for the medal to be handed over, but Yuri didn't want to. Thus, Liliana prepared to attack Yuri. Before they could fight, Amikasu appeared in a car and created a cage around Liliana. Then Yuri got into the car, and they immediately left the place. Amikasu had not expected that the problems they were supposed to be dealing with had become even more complicated. It was already evening when Goto came to his senses. He was sleeping on Erika's lap. He asked where Athena was. Erika replied that maybe she was wandering around looking for Gorgonaean. Then they discussed the legend of Gorgonaean. In the past, the Gorgonaean monster named Medusa was defeated by Perseus. Her head was cut off and handed over to the goddess Athena. After that, goddess Athena put Medusa's head to one of her magic shields. As they were talking, suddenly the sky became pitch black. Goto and Erika knew that Athena had already sprung into action. High above the sky, Athena hovered in the air and searched for the Gorgonaean. He promised that night he would get the snake back. Night came and Athena had made the whole sky grow darker. He created hundreds of owls that roamed in search of the Gorgonaean. Goto was stuck in traffic, so he couldn't go anywhere. Goto and Erika left in the car driven by Ariana. As they were driving, suddenly dozens of owls crowded around them. Erika told him that the owls were Athena's minions. Meanwhile, Yuri and Amakasu had arrived at a shrine. Then she called Goto and told him that she had not sealed the metal. Unfortunately, he felt that Athena was getting closer. Amakasu went to find someone who could help seal the metal. Meanwhile, Goto told Yuri that Athena was coming and she was in danger. Yuri must say his name wholeheartedly, and he would come. The phone call ended, so they left their car and continued their journey by running. Erika knew that Goto would use the embodiment of the wind when he said that he would come to Yuri's place if summoned. Goto confirmed, only he wasn't sure if he could do it or not. At the end of the road, they saw thunder strike many times. They both believed that Athena had found the location of Gorgonaean. In the shrine, Yuri scared because she had to face Athena. She was asked to hand over the Gorgonaean, but Yuri refused and was forced by Athena to launch an attack. Luckily, Liliana appeared and repelled the attack. Then they all fought, but Athena managed to slaughter them both. Unfortunately, Gorgonaean fell from Yuri's hand. She tried to take it but quickly lost to Athena, who had taken the metal first. The goddess immediately activated her true power. The light appeared and shone in all directions, and Athena returned to her original form. Yuri immediately felt frightened. After that, she immediately called out Goto's name and the wind blew and Goto appeared with Erika. They were preparing to face Athena. That was when Yuri felt the pain. Athena said that she had given a deadly poison to Yuri. Goto took out a golden sword that could neutralize divine power, and then removed the poison from Yuri. With that golden sword, he was ready to face Athena, who was getting stronger. Goto created thousands of gold merchants around him and charged Athena. Meanwhile, Yuri and Erika were outside the battle arena. Erika explained that the arena contained thousands of golden swords, was a dimension created by Goto, and there he could freely fight as hard as he could. Athena took out 2 giant snakes to fight Goto, but with his magic swords, Goto crushed one of the snakes into rocks. Then, he stepped forward and fought Athena. His attack succeeded in making the snake ridden by Athena crumble into stone debris. Goto then launched the final attack and beat Athena to the punch. The dimension of his thousands of golden swords came to an end. But it turned out that Athena was still alive even though she had been hit by a very powerful attack. It didn't take long for Erika to arrive and pass the magic spear to Goto. He then threw the spear toward Athena. The spear sped up and hit Athena, created a burst of light. Athena was seriously injured and she returned to her child form again. Goto could have killed Athena, but he just shooed her away. Athena immediately left there and the conflict that night ended. Amakasu gave a report regarding the matter to his boss. He explained to him that it was Goto who had defeated Athena. Even so, he felt that night was not the disaster Princess Alice had foreseen because the scale of the disaster was too small and relatively easy to deal with. Because of that, he was sure that what Princess Alice had predicted had not come to pass. The next day, Yuri had a very strange dream. He saw Liliana and she was talking to an old geezer. They talked about someone they were targeting. Yuri woke up and wondered what her dream had meant. She was getting ready to go to school. At school, she saw Goto making out with Erika. Throughout the day, Erika stuck with Goto. During PE class, Erika challenged Yuri to play baseball. Erika was about to throw the ball while Yuri hit it. A duel begins and none of the balls that Erika threw were able to be hit by Yuri. Goto tried to convince Yuri that she would be able to hit the next ball. Yuri concentrated intently and the moment Erika threw the ball, Yuri swung her bat with all her might, but the punch missed and the ball hit Goto's genitals. He then fell while in pain. In the afternoon, the three of them spent time together on the school roof. They discussed cell phones and turned out that Yuri was clueless and didn't have a cell phone. Yesterday, Yuri called using Amakasu's cell phone. Thus, Goto took Yuri to the cell phone shop after school. While choosing, Yuri felt someone was watching her from the outside. It turned out that Liliana was already standing in the distance watching them. Goto returned home, and just as he wanted to relax, he received a phone call. The caller was a fellow champion named Lord Salvatore Doni. They had fought in Italy once before Goto returned to Japan. Doni was annoyed that Goto had beaten him with full force without mercy in the past, even though he became champion after Goto. Doni then told him about Sasha de Janstal Vauban. Goto knew who it was. Vauban was the old geezer figure of a fellow champion who was so ferocious that even he had many ferocious wolves. He could also control corpses. According to Doni, Vauban was now in Japan and would likely disturb Goto's peace. The call ended. Goto was annoyed that he had just fought the goddess and was now potentially fighting a fellow champion. When he checked his cell phone, that's when he saw a missed call from Yuri. On the other hand, Yuri was ambushed by Liliana. She briefly called Goto before passing out. She was taken away, and when he woke up she was already in a strange place with Liliana. In front of her was the figure she had seen in his dream, and it turned out to be de Janstal Vauban. He said that he was bored and he wanted to create chaos in Japan. He also offered if Yuri wanted to join him. Besides that, he also already knew about the ritual that Yuri had performed 4 years ago. The scene returned years ago. Yuri along with other children were gathered somewhere. Vauban appeared before them and was ready to ask them to perform a ritual. Meanwhile, Goto and Erika confronted Amikasu. They were told that Vauban had kidnapped Yuri for reasons related to a ritual Yuri performed 4 years ago. Amikasu also said that Vauban was one of the strongest champions. Thus, Amikasu asked Goto and Erika for help to save Yuri. On the other hand, Yuri apparently refused to help Vauban. She knew that Vauban wanted to perform the Heretic Gods summoning ritual just like 4 years ago. Yuri said she would rather kill herself than help Vauban. It was then that Vauban awakened the spirits from the afterlife. He said that all the people he killed would serve him. If Yuri died, then he could also control her spirit and still be able to take advantage of her strength. Yuri was surprised, especially for a moment, to know that Vauban had killed one of the Egyptian gods and controlled him, named Osiris. Meanwhile, Goto and Erika had already arrived at Vauban's headquarters. They entered the building and came face to face with the multitude of spirits controlled by Vauban. They also fought and slaughtered all the enemies that were there. After fighting all the enemies, they arrived at where Vauban was. Vauban greeted the two of them. He felt irritated because the goddess Athena he was after was actually finished off by Goto. The other gods he was after were also killed by Salvatore Doni. Because of that, he wanted to summon another heretic god and be killed. But Goto and Erika clearly didn't want that to happen. They also asked Yuri to be returned. Vauban proposed to give the game away. Vauban gave Yuri to Goto and Erika and they were free to go wherever they wanted. 30 minutes after they left, only then would Vauban give chase. After that, Yuri, Goto and Erika left Vauban's headquarters. They were picked up by Ariana using the group's car. They stepped on the gas to leave the place. Along the way, Yuri said that Goto and the others shouldn't get involved in that business. Actually, Vauban was going to ask her to do a ritual, but Yuri didn't want to do it. However, Erika knew what actually happened 4 years ago. About 30 people were killed as a result of the ritual that Vauban wanted. Yuri was able to survive because she had a very strong sixth sense power. Erika said that if Yuri did it again, she wouldn't be as lucky as 4 years ago. Moments later, 30 minutes had passed and they saw hundreds of werewolves that had appeared and were chasing after Goto's group. Erika also asked Ariana, then pulled over. After they getting out of the car, Ariana immediately left them. After that, hundreds of wolves and Vauban's grandmother's spirits appeared. The fight was underway. Goto and Erika struggled against all the enemies present. Until finally Vauban appeared. The real battle was just about to begin. Goto summoned the embodiment of the magic horse and instantly the sky glowed brightly, and the sacred horse shot sharply at Vauban. The great crash ensued. Unfortunately, Vauban was able to absorb the death attack and swallowed it. Without trouble, he turned into a more terrible creature. Goto and his company must fight enemies that were very fierce and difficult to defeat. Erika fought alone while Yuri and Goto remained silent. Goto observed that he had no chance of winning yet. It was then that he invited Yuri to back off. Meanwhile, Yuri asked what about Erika. Goto said that Erika would be fine. The two of them immediately left the battle arena. Due to using the speed of a bird of prey continuously, Goto was starting to feel tired and in pain. They stopped at a safer place. Yuri tried to heal Goto with her magic, but her attempts were unsuccessful. Goto said ordinary magic didn't work against him. While resting, Goto asked if Yuri knew anything about Vauban's power. Unfortunately, Yuri didn't know much about Vauban. On the other hand, Erica faced Liliana. The two fought it out without anyone willing to budge. Throughout the fight, Erica tried to get Liliana to come to her senses and not help Vauban. But Liliana insisted and continued to put up a fight. Back at Godo, suddenly Amikasu appeared. He said that Erica needed Godo and Yuri's help. They immediately went to the location of the fight against Liliana. Yuri screamed trying to revive Liliana, but still, Liliana didn't want to hear. She only came to her senses when Erica recited the contents of the novel Liliana had written. It turned out that she was secretly writing novels and didn't want anyone to know about what she wrote. In the end, for that trivial reason, Liliana stopped fighting and joined Godo's gang. They went to meet Vauban, who was already in human form. Godo then created the dimension of thousands of swords and then fought Vauban. It was then that Vauban turned into a wolf beast and put up fierce resistance. He took out some wolves, but Godo finished them all off with his sword. After that, Godo summoned thousands of blades to revolve around him and then simultaneously shot up and lunged at Vauban. Instantly, Vauban returned to his human form and could no longer change because Godo neutralized his magic. Afterward, Godo and his gang had to face off against Vauban's henchmen to fight against the spirit that served him. It wasn't until finally, after receiving the assistance of Yuri's strength, that Godo's golden sword evolved. He also created the dimension of thousands of swords once again. All of the golden swords spun and consumed all the spirits of Vauban's men. Now there was only Vauban to fight against. Vauban created thunder that charged toward Godo. The attack left Godo and his gang under pressure. It was then that Godo activated the Lamb's incarnation. He gathered strength from his friends and then launched an all-powerful burst of thunder. A rumble of thunder was created and grabbed Vauban. A giant and super deep hole appeared as a result of the crash. Unfortunately, even though he was hit by a super powerful attack, Vauban was still able to get up. Soon the sun was shining. Vauban said he would end their fight. After that, he left the presence of Godo and his gang and the grueling fight was over. Summer vacation has arrived. Godo spent time with the girls around Lucretia living. One night, Godo wandered around alone. It was at this time that he met Athena. Athena didn't want a fight or revenge, but she invited Godo to sail to the opposite island, which had a green light radiating into the sky. On the island, Salvatore Doni was entering a temple. There was a magic barrier there, but he was able to break through it easily. He arrived at the room where a pillar of light was located. The pillar was Hira Royan's seal. Liliana suddenly appeared and asked Doni to stop whatever he wanted to do. But Doni didn't care. He drew his sword and then destroyed the pillar. Light exploded in all directions and immediately Hira Royan, who took the form of a gigantic dragon, appeared and went berserk. In the distance, a figure named Perseus smiled happily because a dragon had appeared. He shot towards the dragon to fight it. Perseus also faced the dragon, who fought fiercely. Liliana appeared and tried to stop Perseus. The dragon was a celestial being that was the incarnation of that island. If he killed it, then the island would also experience disaster. But Perseus no longer cared. He had made up his mind to slay the dragon a long time ago. He also launched an attack towards the dragon, but Athena appeared and repelled the attack. Godo got there and witnessed Perseus confronting Athena. At that time, Athena eliminated the dragon figure there so it wouldn't be slain by Perseus. The two of them were ready to fight while Godo tried to stop them. The surroundings would fall apart if they continued to fight, but Perseus didn't care. Athena also seemed ready to fight against Perseus. Not wanting to get hurt, Liliana immediately led Godo to dart away from there. They stopped at a safer place, but suddenly Perseus came up to them. The fight was not allowed. Godo transformed into a large pig and went berserk. After chasing Perseus in the form of a pig, Liliana rode on the pig. Unfortunately, Perseus got up while riding Pegasus. A bright light appeared behind Perseus and it succeeded in destroying the large boar. Godo and Liliana fell to the ground. Godo tried to use embodiment magic, but the light behind Perseus rendered his magic helplessly shattered. Perseus had also prepared arrows and attacked Godo and Liliana. Godo dashed to dodge the attack using the bird of prey incarnation. Unfortunately, one of Perseus' arrows pierced his chest and he fell. Liliana immediately stepped up to protect Godo from Perseus. That's when Athena came and attacked Perseus from behind. Athena had said that Godo was her prey and that no other god should defeat him. After thinking carefully, Perseus left. Then Athena left a message for Godo to Liliana. He begged Godo not to lose next time. She then left. Meanwhile, Godo encountered Pandora in his subconscious. There Godo was told that he was dead, but by using the power of the sheep he could be resurrected. Pandora also told Godo about Perseus, but Godo didn't remember anything when he came to his senses. It appeared that he was already at Liliana's residence. In the afternoon when they went to the beach they met Athena. Godo also asked why Perseus could remove his power. Athena did not want to answer. She was simply asking if Godo would do anything for her. Godo wanted to agree to this, but Liliana refused. They left Athena. While on their way, Liliana had mentioned that Athena must have some bad intentions towards Godo. That's why they couldn't accept Athena's offer. After that, they still tried to find out about Perseus, but until evening they did not find anything. Finally, Liliana passed the tea containing paralytic poison to Godo. When he drank his tea, he immediately convulsed. Liliana had said that Athena's offer might help, but it wasn't Godo who had to make the offer. Liliana went to look for Athena on the beach. She volunteered to replace Godo. Athena then discussed something about Perseus, but before the conversation had finished, Godo stumbled over to it. He agreed to accept Athena's offer and didn't want Liliana to get involved with it. Athena then explained something about the sun god from the east, and she also told him that Perseus was not a Greek god. After telling the clue, Athena left. Liliana came to Godo, who was still in pain from the anesthetic. On the other hand, Doni met Godo's girlfriends. Turns out he had kidnapped them and tied them up so they couldn't help Godo. His only goal was to make Godo stronger after facing such a terrible problem. Back to Godo, he was already recovering somewhat from the effects of the anesthetic. After that, an arrow appeared and it had a message attached from Perseus. The contents of the message were an invitation to do a rematch that had stopped yesterday. Perseus would bring an audience to witness his duel against Godo. Soon the audience began to gather. Godo and Perseus began to fight. Godo took on the form of a bull that could make himself incredibly strong. He used a big pole to attack Perseus, but Perseus himself was a really strong god. He repelled all of Godo's attacks without the slightest difficulty. Then he let out a bright light from behind his back. In that instant, Godo's strength vanished. Perseus launched his arrow light and attacked Godo. The attack sent Godo flying and crashing into a building. Liliana came to see Godo, who was only lightly injured. After that, Liliana bestowed her power on Godo. He rose and created a dimension of thousands of golden swords. He knew that Perseus was not a legendary Greek god but was Mitra of the Persian god. The reason Perseus could neutralize the teacher's power was because Mitra was the sun god who became the master of Varithragna. Even Varithragna's power also came from Mitra. Perseus confirmed it. To defeat Godo's solar power that came from Varithragna, he just had to use the sunlight that was brighter. Godo slowly got up and created a gigantic sword. He also lunged at Perseus with the sword to cut off the power of the sun. Perseus' power slowly diminishes. It was then that Perseus took control of Liliana's body. Liliana, who was affected by Perseus' magic, turned against Godo. The two of them fought fiercely. Liliana shot various arrows at Godo. While fighting, Godo tried to revive Liliana, until finally Liliana came to her senses. He turned his arrows at Perseus. The attack was successful in making Perseus injured. It wasn't long before Godo summoned the power of a huge pig. The attack was successful in making Perseus seriously injured. Not wanting to lose himself, Perseus dashed away while Godo collapsed from running out of energy. When Perseus was overwhelmed by Godo, that's when Athena appeared and attacked him. Athena turned into a snake and then pounced on Perseus to death. Liliana transferred school and was in the same class as Godo and the other girls. They spend a lot of time together throughout the day. On his way home, Godo was invited to have tea at Yuri's shrine. He had come there with Liliana. In that shrine there were other girls besides Yuri. That girl's name is Seishu and Ina. Ina said that she and Yuri were assigned to be Godo's wife. That meant Godo would practice polygamy. His first partner was Erica and his second partner was Liliana and his third partner was Yuri and his fourth partner was Ina. But Godo protested because the girls weren't his partners, they were his friends. Ina still insisted that Godo must be polygamous. The girls got into an argument. Erica came, which made the atmosphere even more chaotic. Erica then invited Ina to speak privately. Godo and the others waited a very long time. When it was getting late, Erica came. He said that everything was over and they could all went home peacefully to their respective residences. On the other hand, Athena was fighting a mysterious figure in the sky. She seemed overwhelmed by her opponent. The fight continues. Meanwhile, Erica and Godo went on a date. They walked around until they were satisfied. Godo then accompanied Erica to look for underwear. After that, they continued walking and eating together. When it was evening, they went somewhere, and that was where Ina suddenly appeared. It turned out that Ina and Erica had agreed to fight. Ina took out her magic sword and got ready to face Erica, and the battle began. The two of them launched deadly slashes at each other, but neither was overwhelmed. As they fought fiercely, Godo couldn't help but stare. Occasionally, he screamed for the fight to just end. But the two girls wouldn't listen to him at all. They became increasingly violent until in the end both of them had to stab each other. Finally, Godo blocked them by standing in the middle and causing the two of them to stop. Goto scolded them not to continue fighting, and it was then that a black shadow appeared on the ground where Goto was standing. He was mired and fell into the black shadow and went to another world. Ina explained that the sword she used to fight belonged to one of the heroes in the past who had fought heretical gods. They also suspected that Ina's grandfather was one of those heroes. Ina also confirmed it. Not wanting Goto to be alone in another realm, Erika desperately stepped into the black shadows on the ground. Meanwhile, Shizuka was annoyed because her brother had not come home even though it was already getting dark. Shortly thereafter, the roof of his house collapsed and fell on Shizuka. It turned out that it was Athena who made the roof fall from the sky. She casually asked where Goto was. It appeared she wanted to ask Goto for help with something. Goto went into the underworld and saw a wooden house. When he came there, he met Ina's grandfather named Susano Makoto. He explains that he has retired from fighting the heretical gods. He also said that now he was only protecting his granddaughter, Ina. When Goto asked where Erika and Ina were, Grandfather Susano pointed out their whereabouts. The two of them were also already in this magical world and were fighting somewhere. Grandfather Susano said that his granddaughter began to be controlled by her magic sword and turned out to be uncontrollable. Sure enough, in the fight, Ina beat Erika mercilessly. Ina's body turned black and her consciousness began to fade. The holy sword had completely overpowered Ina. When Erika was about to be slaughtered, Goto came and stopped Ina's attack. He knew that Ina had been controlled by the magic sword. In that instant, Goto created a dimension of thousands of golden swords. When she was about to attack, Ina told her that Erika was dying from her poisoned attack. Goto immediately stopped his attack and checked Erika's condition. At the same time, Ina fled from there. Goto tried to use his powers to escape the magical dimension, but even after teleporting here and there, he and Erika remained in the same place. They arrived at a beach and there Erika laid helpless and kept moaning in pain. Meanwhile, Goto was at a loss as to what to do. In the outside world, the day has changed. Yuri and Liliana looked everywhere for Goto and Erika. They finally found out that Goto, Erika, and Ina were in the underworld. They also planned something to save their friends. On the other hand, Athena was watching TV with Shizuka. While watching, suddenly there was a news broadcast that announced that there would be a total solar eclipse in the sky in various parts of the world. The sky was already black and Athena knew what had happened. Then she left. In the underworld, Goto was sad because Erika was dying. It was then that he was thrown into the subconscious. There he met Varithragna, who offered his full strength. Goto also accepted. After he obtained that power, Goto also tried to neutralize the poison in Erika's body by fucking her. In the outside world, Yuri and Liliana were already prepared to perform the ritual. But before they could open the gate to the unseen world, someone appeared. They were both surprised because that figure was Athena, who intended to attack back into the mystical world. Erika could finally be cured. Unfortunately, Ina appeared in the form of a huge monster. Her body had almost completely sunk into that monster form. A fight ensues. After putting up a fierce resistance, Goto finally managed to revive Ina. Her monster form melted into thick black mud. Meanwhile, Ina was pulled away from the monster. At the same time, the occult dimension was broken after it was destroyed by Athena's sickle sword. Goto and the others returned to the real world and met Yuri and Liliana. At that time, they were surprised to see Athena absorbing the power of the black mud embodied by Ina's sacred sword. Unexpectedly, there was one more Athena who appeared. They were all shocked because there were two Athenas in that place. Even so, Goto and his gang knew that the Athena who had sucked up the black mud earlier was Athena's twin named Metis. It turned out that Metis was the one who killed Perseus some time ago. She had absorbed Perseus' weapons and now Ina's weapons and could easily kill everything related to snakes, including Athena. If Metis absorbed Athena's power, then the world would end. As Metis' power grew, Athena's power weakened. Therefore, Goto tried to protect Athena while Erika and the other girls would protect Goto. Amakasu came in his car and asked Goto to get in immediately. Goto led Athena into the car and asked Yuri to go with him, but Yuri refused. In the end, only Goto and Athena left the scene with Amakasu. While on their way, Amakasu informed Goto that they were going to Mount Fuji. During the trip, Athena's condition became increasingly apprehensive. Athena had lost her strength and memory. Meanwhile, Erika and the others were fighting Metis. Ina managed to push Metis back. Liliana also joined the fight alongside Erika. Meanwhile, Ina and Yuri bind Metis with their powers. Erika and Liliana immediately combined their strength and attacked Metis. Meanwhile, Goto, Amakasu, and Athena had already reached the top of Mount Fuji. Goto felt a surge of strength while Metis had apparently succeeded in slaying the girls. She immediately bolted and charged to the location where Goto was. Goto prepared to protect Athena. Knowing that Metis was part of Athena, Goto asked Metis to return to Athena. But Metis refused. They both fought fiercely. Godo switched from one form to another to face Medes, but he was still overwhelmed. Medes managed to injure him, after which he attacked Athena with his sickle sword. Godo roared and charged at Medes with full force. Unfortunately, Medes looked fine. Medes began to absorb Athena's body and nothing could stop her. Before long, she turned into her true form. It wasn't long before the girls made it there. Each and every one of them imparted strength to Godo. With the help of the girls, Godo grew stronger and he created a dimension of thousands of golden blades and charged at Medes with full power. Medes protected herself with a magic shield, but Godo combined his strength with all of the girls and succeeded in creating a gigantic golden sword. With one slash, Medes' magic shield shattered into pieces. A huge explosion occurred and Athena was separated from Medes. To finish off Medes, Godo turned into a giant pig. He also lunged at Medes by combining it with a giant golden sickle sword. One slash and they finally managed to beat Medes. After Medes lost, the whole world returned to normal, and this season was over. Now let's get to the conclusion. This anime has a very interesting concept where the main character Godo fought gods as well as fellow champion. Unfortunately, the execution of some of the scenes felt less solid, because there were so many scenes of girls who stick to the main character. If this anime had more fighting scenes, it would look much better. I thank you guys for watching this video from start to finish. I hope you feel comfortable and entertained by the storyline that I convey. See you in another video.